Welcome everyone, this is Sheshe and today is Friday Flowers. Today's flower comes from Alina Craft Store. It's a set like this. It has, I want to say 4 flowers because this one can be either a center or a flower. I used it as a flower center that layered on top of the flower. I'll show you what the flower looks like. I made a card and I'll show you how it looks on the card. Here is a close-up. Really pretty, nice fall flower. Okay, and then I'll show you some flowers that I did in a different color and some different looks. So here's one and here's one. Hope you can see those up close. Alright, and then I'm going to show you how to put these together. I'm using red today because I plan to make some more flowers in this really pretty autumn color. So I'm going to use this stylus by Heartfelt Creations. If you need the millimeter size and the stylus I'm using, let me check it real quick. The nib is 2 millimeter and 3 millimeter. Okay. Alright. So let me get started here. I'm not going to use water. I'm just going to do a dry embossing of the flower. So let me zoom in just a little bit more so you can see what I am doing. So for the biggest flower layer, I used 2. Okay, and then we're going to do a medium size as well. So I'm going to do 2 layers of this one and about actually it's 1 layer of the large flower and 2 of the medium. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside. And then we're going to do a medium size as well so you can see how to, like if you want to do a cluster. So you just flip the flower over and then you take your 2 millimeter stylus and do a slight embossing of each petal and just give it a curl on each petal. Hope you can see what I'm doing. So I just took the stylus and gave it a curl like so. And that curled my petal. See how it curled? I curled it up. Gave it that curl look. So I'm going to do that for the rest of the flowers. And it kind of looks like a spider when you curl it up like that, like some spider legs. So I'm doing that for all of the petals of this flower. So you get this curl look once it curls up. Well, this one just doesn't want to stay in my hand. So it curls up all like that. So you flip it over. Looks like some legs, and then it's like that going down, and then you're going to emboss around the center of this flower. So I'm going to press it down in the middle and emboss around this center like so. So now it's really looking like it could be a spider. So this is what I get once I do that. Alright, so that's just for the large one. Now we're going to do 2 medium size. And it gives you this pretty look. So I'm going to do the same technique again for those 2 layers. It's curling up. And then flip it over, press it down in the middle. Okay. And then do that round the perimeter of the center, and it looks like a spider. I'm going to do the same thing. This would probably be nice for Halloween too if you're making some Halloween projects. Now this is just one type of flower you can make with this set. There are some other flowers you can make, but this is just for this particular video. And I'll probably come back and show you another type of flower you can make with this set. But this particular flower I thought was really pretty and perfect for my Happy Autumn card. Okay. Alright, so I got this one layered. So now I'm going to glue it together. You will also need this really tiny flower. I'm going to use that for the center. I'm going to use two. So for this one, I'm just going to round it in the center and it's just going to curl up. And then the same thing for this one, round it in the center, it's going to curl up. I'm going to get my glue and glue everything together. So first we're going to start with the bottom and set that down, and then we're going to glue the middle to the bottom layer. So I'm just going to get a little bit of glue right here, and I'm going to offset this middle piece onto this layer. It's going to give me a really pretty look. And then I'm going to take the top layer and I'm going to offset it again, and it's going to give me another dimension of this flower, and it's really going to look so pretty. Alright. So this is what I have so far, and this is how it looks. Now if you can kind of wiggle it around, see if you can offset a little bit more. This is what it's looking like so far. But it looks like it could be a spider flower. These are just some decorative flowers. Now I'm not using the stamen that comes with the set. I did for this one right here, and that's how that looked. But I liked it without it. So now I'm going to glue these two center pieces. And what I like to use for my centers is some micro beads that I got from a store called Tuesday Morning. You may have heard of it, but if you're not in the US, then you might not have heard of that store. But I use these micro beads. They're really pretty. They come in so many different colors, and I like gold for especially this rich color that I'm using. So I'm going to tap this down, and I'm going to get my tray, and it's going to catch my micro beads that I'm going to put in the center. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the center like so, and I'm going to get my little spoon, and I'm going to spoon on some micro beads. And that's all you have to do for this flower. And if you're interested in the products that I used on my card, I'll share with you what I used at the end of this video. And if you need links or anything like that, I can also link those products in the description box below. Everything except for maybe the acorns came from Alina's store. Okay, so here is the flower. It's really pretty. I love how it turned out. It's so cute. So here's a close-up of it. So that's the largest one. Okay, I'm going to set my tray aside. We'll work on the middle one. It's basically the same thing, but this time we're going to use the middle one and the small one. So you just do the same thing. We'll use the small one and the middle one and two small pieces, and we'll do the same technique. We'll flip these flowers over and go a little bit faster. They just curl right up. All right. And I'll probably just save the center embossing for last because I just want to hurry up and curl these. I usually work faster when I'm not doing a tutorial. I just go and emboss them. Sometimes if you don't start all the way at the tip, it doesn't curl all the way up. If you start in the middle, it won't curl. So try to go from tip to, you know, from the point all the way to the center. So there's that one. And then here's this. Now you could leave them flat. They look different when you leave them flat, but this embossing makes a world of difference when you shape your flowers. You can give a more realistic look when you use this stylus. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to flip them over and work on the centers. Again, press it down with your stylus and go around. Same thing with this one. Press it down. Kind of reminds you of a spider. Press it down. Same thing with this one. Press it down. Okay, and then we'll use the same centers as before, those little tiny ones. And we'll just round those like so. Round those like so. Okay, and then we'll glue everything together. Start with the middle piece, give it a little bit of glue, pop that one on the center. You may be able to see the middle flower a little bit easier than the bigger one. We'll compare those at the end. And offset this one a little bit more. Hopefully you can see. And then we'll cup these two together. And then pop this one on the top layer of the flower. And then we'll add some micro beads. And then I'll just use my point, press that down like so. Bring my little tray back. See how that's looking? And I'll show you a comparison of the two. And then I'll put a little bit of glue in the center. And then I'll get my little spoon and add some of these little beads. Just love how these turn out. Great for fall. Really quick flowers. Then you just set those aside to dry. And the leaves are kind of big once you emboss them. The leaves that come with the set. I'll show you the leaves. See how big those leaves are? So I used, I'll show you the leaves that I used on the card now that I've done 2 flowers for you. Okay, so that completes this tutorial, and then I'll show you the products I used for the card that I made to get these little tiny leaves that I layered with the card. Alright, so I used in back of the flowers. And then for the happy, I got this from Happy Birthday. So I did Happy Autumn. And then here's the autumn, and I used vellum to go behind the autumn and the happy. So, and then the frame that I use to offset, it comes from this set right here. This is good for shakers, or how I used it in this case to just give it a different look. It's an outside and an inside stitch, and I use both. So I really love how this card turned out, and I love how my flowers turned out. Great for fall. So I hope you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, and you were inspired. Again, I'll link the products that I use in the description box below. If you have any questions, leave those questions below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, if you found this easy, or if you have any questions about the techniques. Kind of looks like spider flowers, huh? Great for Halloween or autumn, or change the colors and use them for spring or whatever season you wish. Okay, take care everyone. Have a fabulous day.